This video is made for adult collectors because we really are coming full circle with Studio Series.
I love it when movie toys, like in Transformers, feel like evolutions of one another. That feels like a natural progression from this to this in universe. I like that.
I did not like Studio Series 18 Bumblebee. Like most people, he was flimsy and didn't like staying together, wasn't accurate, and just didn't feel the greatest. When I found out they were redoing him, I was very excited to see how that was going to go, and then my initial impressions were not the best. But after watching Toys R Us's video on it and hearing more about how the transformation really works, and actually I was quite excited. Then it got delayed, probably a manufacturing issue, but here it is now. Kind of funny that we started Studio Series with Bumblebee, then the 100th figure was Bumblebee, and now the last figure to come out in the old Studio Series packaging is Bumblebee. I kind of like that full circle. Anyways, this is Studio Series 116 Bumblebee from the Bumblebee film. I think I've said that name a lot now. Don't take shots every time I say it. And he looks so cool. I love the aesthetic of this with the big stomp and work boots and the bits of yellow throughout, leading up to the mostly real car chest and the well-painted head. The proportions feel more spot on here with how wide the upper torso is and the shaping of the legs, though he still has the door wings. So this is a partial. Some of the pieces from the original figure are present here, and the doors are some of those pieces. So they don't have a super elegant way of compressing into the back. They can fold away enough that I'm okay with it. I just wish it could, you know, tuck away a little bit further. However, now that this thing has a new general look, I kind of like the wings, accurate or not. I think it works well on this toy's aesthetic specifically. What I wish was changed though was the yellow. It feels a little too mustard for me on the plastic. I don't know, the renders of the yellow look a bit nicer, but then again, yellow is a really hard color to match on plastic. I love the head with the silver face on it and the blue in the eyes, and they even silvered the bits on the side of the face, which is great. He is a fairly clean-ish robot with only the wings and typical Bumblebee car back on the, well, back, but it's not like it's gonna fall over and be off balance. His feet are large enough. There is no waist though, and there is room for one. My assumptions are in the budget for this and all the new parts being a deluxe means that there wasn't room for a waist, or they didn't want to break up the fabulous engine sculpt on the front. Either way, he has no waist joint, and I kind of wish it was there. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it would have been nice. He comes with his cannon, which has a really nice yellow on it, and then his blade, which is supposed to be in this orientation, which is kind of cool.
So while this figure removes most of the jank of the original, it's not perfect still, and the articulation is kind of reflective of that. It's very basic articulation, and then there's like one thing that knocks something out of place. So the head is on a ball joint. You get quite a nice tilt actually. You look up that far, you can look down that far, and then you get your full 360 rotation. However, the chin, whoa, okay, that's the first time that's happened. I swear the head can do a full 360. The chin bumps into the collar and the back piece here, so that will obviously pop the head off. The shoulders are on ball joints. They can do a full 360 degrees. They can go out that far on the ball joint itself, but they can also go out this far on this joint. However, when you push this shoulder out, it undoes the backpack. Watch. Get the backpack plug back in. If I move this out, it pushes the backpack out. And the backpack doesn't securely tab in, which is fine. Like, it doesn't come out other than that. But the ball joints are stronger than this hinge is, so if I want to move the shoulders out, it always moves this joint before the ball joint and pushes the backpack out. A little annoying. The doors can swing around, they can go forward and back. There are two ways you can fold them up. You can fold them up so that they tuck under the hood section, so you can kind of still see them from the front, but they get out of the way. Or the way I like doing it is if you take them and you fold them backwards this way and just sort of compress them as far as possible. It looks ugly from this angle, but it cleans up a lot more at the front, I find, because you don't see them sticking out the sides here.
Itchy face.
But for the rest of this, I'm going to leave the doors up. You do have ball jointed elbows, which also act as your bicep swivel. Nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist. Again, I wish it had a waist joint. Hips can go all the way forward. They can go back. They can go out about that far. You have a thigh rotation. You have just a little under 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and the ankles can go down. You can move this piece out of the way, and the ankles can go up all the way, which is fantastic. And then you have an ankle tilt and an ankle rotation. So like the lower legs are fine. Like the legs are completely fine. I'm okay with that knee bend. The waist I wish it had, and I wish the shoulders were a little bit stronger at the transformation hinge. Otherwise, I think it's fine articulation-wise. It's not this, because this is a little bit better, but you know, for a partial budget redo of a toy that really sucked, I think this is okay.
So I like the robot a lot. Waist aside, it's still a lot of fun to mess with. Now the transformation is still a tiny bit but nowhere near as bad as it used to be.
All right, let's make him a truck. Bumblebee doesn't turn into, when has Bumblebee ever turned into a truck? Let's turn him into a car. Still a little annoying, but not nearly as bad as what it used to be. So to start with, I like to start with the legs first. So we're gonna take these panels here and rotate them forward. And then you wanna push this panel up, bring the foot down. It's on a hinge and a ball joint, so you wanna bring it down on both and just sort of line it up and then bring this section around and peg that into place and fold the wheel up. And that's one side pretty much done. So again, we're gonna fold all that up, bring this down as far as it'll go, fold the wheel up, and then these legs will peg together. Now you wanna take the backpack, bring it out, it's gonna clip in there and clip in up here. Now, this entire roof section is a piece of clear plastic, little unfortunate. However, the hinges are really, really thick. Like the plastic, you can see that's double layered. So I'm not that worried about it snapping at the hinges because they're thick enough, but I would have liked if these were just like inserts or something. But then you want to take this whole section and accordion it up. It's on like a little double hinge in there, and then fold these door panels out. And I'm going to bring the arms out like this with the wheels facing up because that's the orientation they need to be in. Then you want to take the thighs and split them in half, and they will hinge up just like that. And then you take this entire section here and compress it in on the knees. And then you bring the roof section down and just sort of get it lined up. Don't peg it all together just yet because we got to do the front here. So what we're going to do is split the chest open. You want to bring these down just a little bit and then flare out the beetle front. Then you bring this section up on either side, bring the roof down all the way, and then peg the legs together and into the roof section while also bringing this down on either side. That's the most annoying part, is getting all of this lined up. So once we have all that done, we're going to take the doors, bring them in. They're going to peg into the hips of the robot. So they're going to go into the sides there, and then they're going to peg into the roof as well. This is another part that is slightly annoying to get all situated properly. Now, once you get the roof pegged in, you notice this hood's not pegged in and this is not pegged in, so we're going to fix that. So what you want to do is make sure these wheel arches are over top of the doors at the very ends on either side. That gets all this lined up. Then we're going to fold the rear bumper up and over and onto that. Then we're going to compress the front end of the car and just make sure everything is nice and squeezed together. Bring the arms down. They're going to peg into here and inside the hip. So just bring that in and bring that in on either side. And now once you have all that pegged in, you can give it a little squeeze basically everywhere to get it all lined up. And there you have Beetle mode. And look at that. It's actually staying together. It's not coming apart. You can see the colors in person. The color separation is not nearly as bad as this. This is a painted clear plastic piece versus plastic. And yellow is very hard to match, but like in person, it matches way better than it does on camera.
That's a Beetle. One of my least favorite cars ever, but it's a good looking Beetle. They got all the shapes. Whoa. I don't know what that was. They got all the shapes correct, but here at the door frame, it doesn't look like it's pegged together. But it is. The yellow doesn't extend to the side of the clear plastic frame, so it looks like there's a gap, but there isn't. It's just you're seeing through the clear plastic. There is a bit of undercarriage, but it reminds me of that bit in the movie where that little piece of him fell off underneath the car. And the weapons can store rather ungracefully at the back, but that's Transformers for you. I wish it held together a tiny bit tighter at the back, but it by no means wants to come apart like the last one. And overall, I think it's a much needed improvement over the original. I can at the very least have fun with it, and it feels like it fits more with some of the other Bumblebee Studio Series toys we've gotten since. But it's fun and neat. I do recommend one, and I hope that this means that they're gonna redo other figures in the future, like a Voyager Lockdown would be nice, please. But that's my look at Studio Series 116 Bumblebee. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.